Hello, my name is Sarah Pericich-Lopez, and thank you for joining me for today's reflection. Before we begin, I want to invite everyone to find a quiet place inside of themselves in a moment of grounding. Matthew chapter 5, verses 13 through 16 inspired my vocational identity. As a young adult pursuing my undergraduate degree at a Jesuit university and as an intern in campus ministry, I often heard the words, "You are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world." Initially, I struggled to make sense of these words, only relating them to Jesus' profession in John chapter 8, verse 12. I am the light of the world. It was clear to me that through my faith, something about me represented Jesus. At the time, I believed to embody salt and light was to spread love and joy, and I still believe that there's truth in this. It was not until I began graduate studies that I realized that being salt and light was directly related to justice. Through discernment, my naive comprehension of my vocational call evolved, and I ultimately became a faith-based community organizer. It may be surprising that salt and light are related to justice, as we often hear of Matthew 5, verses 13 through 16 in relation to evangelization. However, this call to be salt and light is placed at the beginning of the Beatitudes, where Jesus calls us to be people who promote harmony, freedom, and peacemaking. We learn from Psalm 112 that the bearer of light in darkness is a just person. The passage from Isaiah illuminates all the practices of a just person. To embody light is to be righteous, or as it's translated from Hebrew, just, or a liberator from oppression, which requires self-giving, clothing, sheltering, embracing, truthfulness, and benevolent speech. In my work, I often struggle to hold in tension that the faithful are called to be salt and light. Yet injustice abounds and darkness feels consuming. At times, I feel hopeless, wondering, have I lost my saltiness? Have the faithful lost their taste as Jesus warned? Are we no longer able to shine our light into the darkness? I lament, crying out to God, where are you? What about the promises you made to us? The author of Isaiah 58 professes, in the face of injustice, you shall cry for help, and he will say, here I am. And as my belief that God is always present waned, 9 high school interns walked into my life through our nonprofit's youth organizing internship, reminding me exactly how to be salt and light. As Psalm 112 commanded, these young women are steadfast, with hearts trusting the Lord that the just world they envision will exist. They are courageous in the face of systemic injustice, always speaking truth to power and ensuring that their words lead to a more free and inclusive world. Even when they fear they aren't not equipped with all the knowledge, eloquence, or resources, they boldly act for justice, just as the passage from Isaiah states. They understand that righteousness begins with a heart posture oriented toward God, but it also requires demonstration of spirit and power, as Paul notes. Weeks ago, one of my interns spoke at a synodal gathering of Jesuit works. She stood before a room of adults denouncing injustice and calling for an inclusive and active church. I watched in awe as she appeared, a light on a lampstand, illuminating the room and energizing spirits for justice. She was salt, exemplifying, I will no longer be complacent with corruption. Over here, I am preserving and fertilizing the good for all to enjoy. In her words and through her actions, she has restored our community of salty saints. My deepest prayer is that we remember what it means to be salt and light. As we near the Lenten season, when we feel hopeless, darkness, or that we have lost our taste, we keep our gaze transfixed on God and keep our peripherals open and aware of our faithful youth. They are prophetic examples in our world with a keen sense of how to be salt and light. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a really blessed week.